Hey everybody, I'm back. I mentioned this morning that I would be here at noon with my friend Frank and tell you all about him and what he has done. It's so amazing. And so I'm going to wait for him to hop on here for a minute and try to get this all worked out. Let's see if I can find him. Yes, I am. Okay, I can search for his name. Invite him in. Let's see. So today is National Superhero Day. If you didn't see my post earlier, my live earlier, I went live first thing this morning so I could tell y'all that it was National Superhero Day. And today's the day that we had my son's celebration of life service. And I had no idea it was National Superhero Day until we got into the cemetery and his pediatrician said, "Did you know it is National Superhero Day?" And here we were in all our superhero paraphernalia, clothing, socks, shoes, shirts, everything, celebrating Coulson. And some of the people had gotten made that Coulson was their superhero. So it's really special. I'm amazed that today is National Superhero Day, and that is the day that Coulson had his celebration. We had his celebration of life service. So anyway, so I'm waiting on my friend Frank. So Frank has created a Facebook page called the Be Encouraged page, and it is all about encouragement. And I think, okay, Frank's saying he's on. I sent you an invitation. Do you see that? Sorry, everybody. Okay, I sent Frank, I sent you an invitation. Are you on your cell phone? Because there we go. Here he is. Here he comes. Frank, hello and welcome.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here today to share about the amazing things that you have done on your Facebook group. I think you've reached some pretty momentous goals and achievements. So please tell everybody about that and how it got started and all that good stuff. Tell us about yourself and your children and all that good stuff.
Oh my.
And your wife.
I'm originally from North Carolina. I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado now. This is my 38th consecutive year in Colorado. So I consider myself a Coloradan now. And I've always had two things that were really close and near and dear to my heart. Loving people, number one. I used to be a pastor at one point as well in my journey, and business. So trying to figure out a way to conjoin those, to make those a place. I was talking to my son Randy, who is our oldest. Three of my kids live in Denver. And I was saying, geez, I am known in our region as the encourager guy, right? And I really despise division, hate, unkindness. It's just really outside of my wheelhouse. So I refuse to. I wondered who are like mine.
You're cutting out. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Audio, maybe closer
Okay.
to my mouth. Can you hear me? Are you still there? Oh, goodness. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. You're back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So what I heard, I don't know if you cut out for the listeners too, but that So you were talking with your oldest son.
Yeah.
Can you start back right there?
Yeah, talking to my son Randy, I
Okay.
said, how can I spread encouragement, you know, in the family regionally? Here's a Dad, why don't you just make a Facebook group? So 15th of March, 19, no, not 19, but 2019. I 2019. It's just our second year. Yeah, 2019 started the Be Encouraged group and sent out requests to a few friends, and exponentially it just began to take hold. And today there's 45,000 of us in 115 countries in every state in the union participating in the Be Encouraged group.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, wow. And then in less than 2 years, or in exactly 2 years, right? Because you had the big boost. So tell me, I mean, the reason I found your group is because I love encouragement.
Yeah.
And being positive, and it's all about thinking positive and living that way, right? It changes everything about a situation, etc. And you know that already. So tell me more. Tell me about your group and how it's evolved and what you've learned through it.
Well, yeah, you know, Evie, no one's ever walked up to me and said, you know, my marriage is so encouraging, I'm divorcing. Right? No student has ever walked up to me and said, my school work is so incredibly exhilarating, I'm dropping out.
Right.
It doesn't happen. A business person doesn't walk up to you and say, my business is doing so great, I think I'll quit. So to me, encouragement became a foundational word and principle for the way that we engage one another. So even a word, when you think about encouragement. You can almost break it down to me instilling courage into you in those times when it's not there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it's about, is to instill courage in the times of fear, dread, and all of the other things that happen in life. Life is tough. It really, if anyone denies that, they've been sleeping on a rock or something. I don't know. It's very tough. Interpersonally, it's tough. It's tough with other people. It's tough with ourselves. We don't have to go any further than the mirror to realize that life is tough. So to create a space where you can't sell anything, you can't buy anything, you can't promote anything. I don't care how good it is. We can't have any sermons on here. Do those.
You froze up.
Yeah. Are you gone?
Okay, there you go.
Again?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. We were
you can't buy anything, sell anything, buy anything.
Yeah, can't buy anything. You can't do any of those things. And trust me, we have a lot of people try to sneak their wares on to our group. And we have so many admins. I think you're one of those, young lady. And so many admins and moderators around the country and some around the world that monitor our group 24/7 and make sure that we keep it safe and we keep the bad stuff out.
Right.
So what I've learned is that we have a real longing and need and culture to love one another. We really do. We make all these big political plans and all these other things. We got all these divisive places. We divide by gender. We divide by race. We divide. If we can find a way to divide in our culture, we'll find it, right? Right. So it's craziness to me because they never explore the opportunity to love one another. And we come here with the adage of people can hate for no reason. About.
It's so awesome. It's so true. And I call myself the gratitude gal. I went through a really awful time in 2012, and I got a hold of the gratitude in a situation and all that. So what in your life, is there a moment that you found that message, or how did that come about?
Well, it's just part of me. I say it's really the way God created me, is to really lift up and lift up other human beings. I didn't know inherently that's what I was, because as a young man, I was not a very good young man. I'm gonna just be perfectly honest with you. I'm
Right.
incredibly selfish. It was all about me. I went through a marriage that ended up in divorce after 20 years. My wife and I, Michelle, we're celebrating our 15th year this year. So, in my second marriage, I went from alcoholism at 26 to homelessness here in Colorado Springs, where I lived in the park downtown, and I loved it. It was like a freedom to me. I thought I'd found my people because I didn't think very much of myself. Coming from abject poverty as a young man myself, I thought this was my lot in life until one day a guy walked through and asked me to tell my story to him. And I did, and he took me home with him. So 1983, July, I was sleeping underneath a bush downtown in Acacia Park. July 1984, I was the chief of the Fuels Management Division for Raytheon at the Air Force Academy. What a
Wow. I have chills on the top of my head and on the bottom of my feet and all in between. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So in the midst from when you go from being homeless to being the chief top dog in a company, what how did you get from there to there? So someone came, he introduced you to what exactly?
Well, he introduced me, first of all, overwhelmingly introduced me to Christ. So I was 26 years old. I had been to church exactly 3 times in my entire life before that day. I had no experience, didn't know anything about that. So yeah, he took me to his church. My life changed from that moment. I had been smart enough during my 8 years in the Air Force before to go to college, get a business degree. So I had a jump start on that. So I don't want to give any false impression that they just hired this guy, with no experience or anything. And I had worked in that particular field while I was in the Air Force as well. So I did have that background, but the job just came open. I say God just opened the windows of heaven for me here on earth, and that job became open, and they recruited me. So and that was the start. Later, I went back to Bible college and for a while became a pastor. But here's the truth: my character did not match my mission, and it happens a lot of times. And now that I'm older, I can say that without any guilt or shame or anything. I'm a pretty good speaker, and I do that really well and stuff. So I had the talent, but I didn't have the character. So my character ended up having an affair as a pastor as well, losing my church. My marriage survived that incident, but it was never the same. And it was always, well, it wasn't that great even before that. To be perfectly honest, and my ex-wife, who is my friend now, wouldn't mind me.
Right.
That. Yeah. So, yeah, we were on twos. We were two really broken people that
Right.
had a very difficult time coming together. So we tried, and we have 3 children. So those are the crowning achievement of our time together. And all 3 of our kids are business executives in Denver right now and doing incredible work on earth.
Awesome. Awesome. That is an amazing story. Wow. I'm so glad I got to hear it for the first time. I've seen you from afar on the Be Encouraged group and as being an admin, which I don't get to spend enough time doing that. But wow. And so you've grown your group to over 45,000 on Facebook. So that's amazing. So for everybody who's watching, it's the Be Encouraged group. So y'all go on over and request to be a part of that. It's very encouraging, only uplifting, encouraging stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
And wow. So what else would you like to share with us before we have to go?
Well,
And here,
well, I just first of all, I want to say to you, thank you. Yeah, what an incredible human being you are. And I've listened to some of your lives and your stories and some of the pain points of your own life and what you've gone through. The incredible Colson. He seems to be a yeah, really always at the center of your heart, your mind, and your conversation. So, your three boys, your husband leaving, I think, in 2012. Is that right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I got a background story, and you are radiating all of this wonderful joy, incredibleness, even in the midst of all that you've experienced and in what you've gone through. So thank you for being you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, and I've said for a long time, our hurts heal other people's pain,
Hmm.
but we have to, if we keep it to ourselves, they won't. And they'll look at us maybe and say, oh, wow, look at him. He's that. I could never be that, or look at her. And it's not true because we all have greatness inside of us, amazing greatness. And so somewhat it got lost along the way for some people, for you,
Yes.
for me, but it's there. It's there. And so I want to connect people to that, and you do too.
And
So,
yes,
um,
yeah. Yeah, we all
so awesome.
have stories, right, Evie?
You cut out, say it
I
again.
said we all have stories.
Yes, we
And
do.
really, yeah, and if you follow the natural course of a human being's story, it'll lead to their purpose. That's what unlocks
Right.
our purpose. It's a story, and most of the time, I call it leveraging your pain. If you take the pain points in your life and allow them to be things that turn out to be the great things that propel you forward, you see where
Right.
they leverage your pain. We're re-editing a book, and I'm not trying to promote if your audience, I don't care who gets it or who doesn't. It's called Dream Again: Lessons on Leveraging Your Pain. So
Oh, wow.
it tells, yeah, it tells the point of my life and how the pain points became the 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 pillars of which I stepped upon to be able to move forward. Yeah, and that
Right.
happens in everybody's life, everybody's.
It does, Frank, but here's the key, I think. We have to look for the good
Hmm.
because as humans, it's easy to get stuck in looking at what happened,
Hmm.
looking at the wrong done or the hurt inflicted, but we can't get stuck there. And that's what I encourage people, and you do too, to look at it and look what good it brought you. I encourage people to do that every day. And sometimes I know people are like, what you talking about?
Yeah,
What are you talking about? Like, you don't know what happened to me.
right.
And but even still, if you look for the good, you'll find it.
Yes.
And inside of every human is that greatness that you are speaking of. And so I would love to know more about your book. It sounds incredible, and your story, and wow, I'm so thankful that we got to be here today and chat. And I know other people are going to be touched by your story. And so, any last thing? And if not, we'll hop off. Or if you do,
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah.
I love all your.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hop off. I've got a meeting I got to run to outside of the house, but I want you to come on Facebook Live that I do on Saturdays for the Be Encouraged group as well. It, when would you be willing to do that? See, I'm saying it publicly so that you can't back.
I'm all. Is Saturday available?
Really? Yeah, this Saturday's
You
available at noon my time. I think 1 o'clock your time.
perfect. This Saturday, like April 30th, 31st, 30th,
May
first,
1st.
May 1st. What?
May 1st. Yeah.
I'm there.
But cool.
If it's well, I'm ready.
All righty. All righty. Same thing. You'll see it come up on Facebook Live in the Be Encouraged group, and there'll be a green button on the bottom. Just hit it, said you want to join. I'll bring you on, and I'll introduce you to the Be Encouraged tribe. Okay.
Perfect. That sounds great. And everybody who's watching, y'all follow us over there on Saturday and drop a comment below. Let us know you were here. And y'all head over to Be Encouraged group and let us see you over there too. So, thank you, Frank. This has been amazing. Amazing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're incredible.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.